Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Steve Jobs didn't just say bold things. He lived them. He bent reality, shaped the world, not with magic, but with vision, obsession, and ruthless self-mastery. This isn't a tribute, it's a map. Welcome to Deionos, where timeless philosophy becomes a weapon in modern war. When Jobs said he'd put 1,000 songs in your pocket, people laughed, not just critics, his own engineers, his own company. But Jobs didn't wait for consensus. He moved from conviction. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music." Jobs heard the music. If you want to create your dream life, start here. Give yourself full permission to believe what no one else sees. Not halfway, not when it's trending, fully, religiously. This was Jobs' reality distortion field. Not deception, not delusion. A gravitational force of belief so strong, it reshaped reality. Jobs wasn't balanced. He was possessed by elegance, by minimalism, by perfection. He screamed over fonts, obsessed over shades of gray, rebuilt entire prototypes over a single flaw. Most chase dreams until it hurts. Jobs bled for his, like a monk sharpening one blade for years, just to make one perfect cut. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu said, "To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders." His external chaos served an internal clarity. When obsession becomes alignment, competition disappears. You don't chase the future, you pull it into orbit. Jobs had a brilliant mind, but his weapon was something deeper. He didn't follow data, he followed instinct. He took calligraphy classes, studied Zen, traveled barefoot through India. To most, these were detours. To Jobs, they were downloads. In his 2005 Stanford commencement speech, Steve Jobs said,
"You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards."
Seneca said, "No man was ever wise by chance. Intuition is earned, not magic, but pattern recognition rooted in presence. It's the reward for silence in a world addicted to noise." At 30, Jobs was fired from the very company he built. Most would fold. He forged. He called it the best thing that ever happened to me. Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Jobs built next. He built Pixar. One revolutionized software. The other reinvented animation. This wasn't a setback. It was initiation. Carl Jung called it the descent into the underworld, the death before rebirth. Rejection is a test, not to block you, but to prove that you're worthy. Steve Jobs said, "Focus is about saying no, not just to distractions, but also to good ideas, to comfort, to anything that blurs the signal." Jobs slashed entire product lines, removed ports, rejected partnerships. He knew that perfection is subtraction. As Machiavelli would say, it is better to act and repent than not to act and regret. But you can't act with clarity unless you focus completely. Silence the noise. Pick the hill you die on and burn the map to every other one. Steve Jobs said, "Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life." Death is not the enemy. It's the compass. It strips away the illusion of someday. The Stoics practiced memento mori. Remember, you must die, not to depress you, but to ignite you. Every minute you delay becoming who you're meant to be is stolen by fear. Let death be your permission slip. This is not rehearsal. Jobs obsessed over the insides of machines no user would ever see. Why? Because his father said, even when it's not visible, you should make it beautiful. That is not vanity. That is excellence. Schopenhauer said, talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Genius sees the invisible line and refuses to step below it. That's not pride. That's principle. The iPhone took over 2 years. Pixar took decades to profit. Apple's rebirth wasn't overnight. Jobs waited, improved, refined. Lao Tzu said, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Most want speed. The wise aim for inevitability. Time is not the enemy. Impatience is. Trust the delay. Sharpen in silence. When your moment comes, strike. Jobs didn't just make products. He reshaped behavior. The way we talk, create, think. His fingerprints are on culture itself. Marcus Aurelius said, what we do now echoes in eternity. Wealth fades, fame dissolves, legacy lingers. What will echo when you're gone? Jobs wasn't superhuman. He just refused to accept reality as final. He treated it like clay and shaped it with vision, obsession, conviction. This power isn't reserved for icons. It's available to anyone who dares to see the world, not as it is, but as it should be, and refuses to look away. The next videos aren't just content. They're part of your transformation. Each one is a tool to sharpen your mind, strengthen your will, and shape your reality. Subscribe if you're ready to awaken the God within. But before you go, what truth do you see that the world refuses to believe? And will you build it anyway?